What are your scariest paranormal experiences? Not paranormal, but I unknowingly took a photo of a guy who was hiding inside my apartment. He was on a big shelf that's tucked away in a small storage room in my apartment, which I kept empty. Just the right size for someone to curl up in. Short story, took a pic of a friend at my place. Next day when I came home from work, the place was cleaned out with no sign of forced entry. It was a mystery. Weeks later, I looked at the pic and saw the random foot behind my friend in my little storage room. The room was dark at the time, but I took the pic with flash so it immediately jumped out at me. He must have spent the night there, waited for me to leave in the morning and finally robbed the place. Neither me or my friend noticed anything as we hung out that evening, nor did I notice anything during the night as I slept. Here's the crop pic. I walked past a completely normal looking dude. He was wearing a red baseball cap and a black jacket with dark grey jeans. I didn't think anything of it. He walked past me in the opposite direction. 20 seconds later, I reached the end of the street and looked around, only to see him like 120 meters ahead of me. The weird thing is that he was going the opposite direction, but suddenly teleported a distance of about 180 meters. There is no way he could go around and get there in such a short time. I can't explain how he did it, but he had the exact same clothes, same posture, same body shape, everything. It was 100% him. When I was very young, about 3 or 4 I think, I supposedly would go to the door and just talk to no one. When my mom would ask who I was talking to, I'd just happily respond, "Oh, it's Emily and her grandma. They died in a car crash." I did this more than once. I don't personally find this scary as I don't remember it, but it sure gave my mom a spook. When I was 4 years old, my family lived in Texas. I had my own bedroom, initially meant for my little brother and I, but he would sleep with my parents. Every night I would get woken up by a soldier sitting at the foot of my bed. He had shoulder-length blonde hair, zit-like dots on his face with a little bit of blood streaming down, and he was wearing an army uniform, and had a mug. He would ask me questions. I pointy, "What's your name? What's your favorite color? How old are you?" He would ask every night, same question, and I would answer them all. It got to the point that I had to tell him to stop, because I had school the next morning. Preschool. He would stop talking for about 5 minutes, and then he'd ask me the same questions all over again. I was forced to get up and go to my older brother's room every night and sleep in there all while I can clearly still hear him asking those questions in the other bedroom. One night I decided to ask him why he was there and what was in his cup. All he said was it was coffee to keep him awake, because it was his turn to be awake. I didn't know what that meant. I still kind of don't. Perhaps they rotate on sleeping while the other keeps lookout. Perhaps there was an accident while he was keeping lookout, which could explain the dots on his face with blood. I don't know how they do things in the army. I just remember never being afraid of him. It wasn't until my mom saw him in broad daylight sitting on the floor of my bedroom laughing, staring at her. That same day we packed and moved to Arizona. I had no idea she experienced that until I was a lot older and told me. "I know you said scary, and a lot of people would consider this scary, but I think a lot about him, and I sometimes wish to go back to that house and see if he's still there." I never got his name. Brace yourselves everyone, this is a long one. One day in the summer before my senior year of high school, my friends and I had nothing to do. So, we decided to go out for a drive in the country and find a place to spend the day hiking and smoking. We ended up at a state park and found some trails to follow. We hiked for an hour before realizing we no longer on the trail. Somehow, we ended up in the middle of thick woods. I hadn't been paying attention exactly where we were going. I was there for the fun and fellowship. We started walking towards a huge hill and found a path that opened to a large grass field. The area was creepy. It was quiet and there was a low mist over the field. The whole sky was a dark grey, yet the weather was nice. Before I entered the woods, my friends seemed fine, and I wasn't nervous. I was having a good time. I just couldn't figure out how we ended up so far off the trail. I took the lead and we began making our way across the field. We were all joking about the situation, and when I noticed something in the corner of my eye, to my left, there appeared to be a tall figure standing next to a large tree. It looked like a shadow, but I couldn't figure out exactly what it was. I assumed it was my mind playing tricks on me, yet I couldn't stop glancing over at the strange shadow after each step. I wasn't scared, but something about the shadowy figure didn't seem natural. Suddenly my friends got quiet. I wasn't sure if they saw it or not, but as we moved closer it looked like it was person leaned against a tree smoking. I don't know what someone would be doing this far off the trail. By the time we reached the end of the field the mysterious person looked like they were surrounded by smoke. I started to freak out thinking I was watching someone or something on fire. For some reason my first instinct was to take out my phone and try to take a picture of what was happening. I still don't know what urged me to do that. Something inside me just screamed that what I was witnessing something unusual. When I pointed my phone in the direction of the smoke it instantly disappeared and reappeared 50 yards to my right. It was like it had teleported right in front of me. I heard my friends gasp behind me. Now, I knew for certain this was not normal and my friends had seen it too. This didn't ease my mind. I started to feel like I was having a panic attack. My heart began beating out of my chest. My palms and feet began sweating. It was like my whole body was reacting to witnessing something that had defied the laws of reality. All I could do was stand there motionless, trapped inside my own head. My friend me managed to get out his phone and take a picture of it before it teleported again. This time it didn't reappear around us. It had vanished. We didn't move. We just stood there in silence for what felt like an eternity. Finally, my friend just whispered, "What the fuck?" We all sighed in relief and discussed what happened. Everyone described seeing and feeling the same thing. My friend's phone went black when he took the photo of the teleporting smoke creature. He couldn't get his phone to come back on. After the encounter we slowly tried to retrace our steps. A short afternoon hike turned into an 8-hour trip back to the car. I have no idea how we got so lost. Fortunately we made it back right before sunset. I'm so glad I didn't have to spend the night wandering the woods knowing that thing was somewhere out there. The next day, my friends and I hung out at my house. We still didn't fully believe what happened to us. In fact, I still don't know what we saw. Did we really witness a teleporting smoke creature, or was it the lights and shadows of the woods playing tricks on us? We had been smoking weed throughout the day, but I have never experienced anything like that high or sober. My friend's phone came back on after he charged it. However, the last photo he took was blacked out. You couldn't make out anything in the photo. So, we have no proof it happened, but we all did experience something strange together that day.